Hi there, my name is Dillon and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And, I'm mainly not a political channel, but I am interested in politics. I'm interested in, like, wild, crazy stuff in general. I am. And I think we can all say politics is a bit wild and crazy, and it has been for a number of years, which is a bit of an interesting thing. So, you may be aware, you may not be aware, there was an election in America a couple of weeks ago, and they're still trying to work out who officially who is the winner. The media en masse, and social media have declared one person, Joe Biden, the winner. He's a projected winner, and in all likelihood, in any logical world, he is going to be inaugurated as president, right? So he put out this tweet yesterday that we're gonna talk about. I really hope it's true. You know what? I'm gonna tease it right now. The tweet said, "Let's begin the work to heal and unite America and the world," which is something I think would be fantastic. If he can do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. So this video is what I think he needs to do, and he's in a position to do it. What he needs to do to be able to do that. So we're going to be talking about that. Before we get there, though, can you hit the like button? That will be great. Can you hit the share button? I think the share button will be really good in this one because, listen, I try and be as honest as possible whenever I can, and I really do. I really do. I just feel a lot of people are very, very, very weirdly misinformed about what's going on, right? So anyhow, I'm gonna lay it out before you. I'm gonna hopefully let you know things that you might not be aware of before. And I don't know if I'm right about any of this stuff. Like I don't have no first-hand evidence. I'm not inside, but I'm just telling you what's on the table, right? Fine. So I'm going to talk about what Joe Biden needs to do to unite and heal America and the world. And I really, really, really hope he does. I have zero confidence that he's going to, but I really hope he does. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. Definitely subscribe, because YouTube doesn't like me not following the party line. YouTube does not like it when I say, let's wait and see to January who's going to be president. Like, it doesn't like it at all. Takes subscribers off me all the freaking time. So, listen, if you like the... I like having independent voice. I was going to say, if you like the work I do. No, not even that. If you like independent voices on YouTube, which I think is really the strength of YouTube. If you like it, if you can hit the subscribe button, that would be really, really fantastic. Very much. And one more thing, as we're talking about things that are really fantastic. My new Indiegogo is the email sign-up list has just come out. If you can click the link, it's right in the video notes, and join it. We have 2 really, really good graphic novels that I'll be offering. I'll be about a couple of weeks till the campaign starts. But if you can join the email list so you keep informed, that's just great for me. The bigger your email list is, the bigger your campaign does. It's basically that simple. If you are good enough to add your email list, which of course I'm not going to share with anyone, you do, if you make any purchase, get one of these for the male gaze, very tasteful and artistic art cards. Go click the link. You'll find out everything you need to know about it. Fine. So let's talk about this. Joe Biden saying, there we are over here. Let's begin the work to heal and unite America and the world. Now, I am so on board for that sentiment. I fear it's completely disingenuous. I fear it's that it was a statement made not to further that goal, which I think is a great goal, but instead just to make his base feel good about themselves. This gentleman here, Gad Sad, which is... basically says it all. Gad Sad. Now this is going to surprise you when I roll over him. Let's see a little bit about Gad Sad. He's a professor. That's always bad. I'm sorry. Higher education has been one of the worst things for America. Again, look at the sheer insanity that is coming out of students nowadays. Evolutionary behavior scientist. Okay, whatever. I'm glad you got paid for that. Author, well done. Opinions of mine alone. Well, that's fair enough. I don't think you were. I didn't think there were anybody else's. Retweets do not necessarily imply an endorsement. Well, it sort of does. And that's why I don't like professors, generally speaking, because it sort of does. A retweet does imply endorsement unless you go, this is insane. So he replies by going, so inspiring, so invigorating, so profound. His words touch my soul. even though he doesn't believe in God or a soul. It's my guess. It's just a guess. I don't think he really believes in God. It touches my soul. His vision is an orgiastic orgasm of leadership. What? He's saying he's a leadership orgy? Really? That's what's going down? His keen sharpness will heal us from orange. Oh, okay, fine. He just went off the deep end. Thank you, Joe. We don't deserve you. Also retweeted. Okay, well, I'm sure it's a big deal that you retweeted him. I think he's very, very grateful. So listen. Again, if he's being honest, saying let's begin the work to heal and unite America and the world, that's fantastic. So and if he does that, listen. Even if he doesn't succeed, I'll be honest with you, even if he does not succeed in uniting America and the world, he will have my support. And I am like big in the bag for the Donald, right? I thought it was going to be hilarious when I first heard he was running in 2016. I was like, this is going to be crazy. And then I kind of got pulled from that because I got a bit of a wacky sense of humor. I think his governance, though, has been pretty darn great. Just going by the metrics, has been pretty darn great. I understand. We have sharp political differences. And this is one of the things that I want to talk about in this video. So we have two groups. I think basically it seems to be right now unreconcilable groups. So we have one group that says, look, this election is completely kosher. Nothing went wrong with it. Everything is fine. This guy is clearly the president-elect, and just shut up. And if you even think of questioning it, you're a moron. You're a conspiracy theory, and you believe in fake news, and we have to deprogram you. That seems to be one side of the aisle, right? This seems to be the Joe Biden group, right? And we got the other group that says, look, weird stuff went down, and I just need you to find some way of explaining that to me, for me to be able to believe that it was that there wasn't an election stolen, right? Because I think that between 70 and 80 million people in America truly believe that the election was stolen. They believe it for quite reasonable reasons, right? So here's what's going to happen. I believe if Joe Biden is inaugurated without these weird things debunked, which really is what needs to be done. These weird things need to be debunked. I think his presidency will not be legitimate, and either there's going to be like an open armed insurrection. There might be states that secede from the union. Because look, again, if you're in the Biden camp, that's fine. I just want to explain it to you. Like, if you're in the other bubble, you're going to go, there's no point in voting ever again. There's two reasons not to vote ever again. One, my vote's pointless now because they just cheat to win. And whether you believe it or not, whether that was the case or not, that's what the people believe that believe it. They believe they cheated to win. So, like, my point and my vote is pointless. And if they did indeed cheat to win, it seems that the left wing of politics has had a real problem for the last 20, 30 years, in that it's not further left wing you get, it's not particularly popular. It's not particularly resonating with the voter group, and you've got to get people to elect you to be able to do it. So if they did cheat, and then they've now sidestepped that hurdle permanently, right? They're never ever gonna lose an election again, and it's not because of popular, it's because they cheated. So why do people believe they cheated, right? Why do people believe they cheated? And one of the things that the media is doing, which I think is very disingenuous, is they say there's no evidence of voter fraud, which is a bit of a bait and switch, right? It's not really what's going on. To establish voter fraud is hard. Because to establish fraud, you've got to establish intent, and that takes that's a high bar to get over. I believe there's no smoking gun evidence of somebody intending to commit fraud. Although we're going to watch something that basically says there is, but there's no widely disseminated evidence. This evidence won't really be disseminated until it gets to court. But I think that's a much lengthier thing. Something that is much easier to establish is targeted voting irregularities. That's it, targeted voting irregularities that swung between 3 and 5. 3 and 5 swing states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, probably Nevada as well, right? You know, there is overwhelming evidence of voting irregularity. So, what is a voting irregularity, right? We should throwing out these words. We should know what they are. A voting irregularity is this: that, and I watched this in real time, which made me go, "Well, that's strange. This is just strange, right?" I watched this in real time that. It was about 4 in the morning U.S. time, and Trump was ahead in Michigan and Pennsylvania. And then they say, "Well, we're not counting. We're stopping counting. We're not counting, and we're going to start counting again at 9 in the morning." Right? So I'm like, okay, fine. So for me in Israel, I'm 7 hours ahead. That was like about 10, 11 in the morning. Then an hour and a half later, way before 9 in the morning, they started counting again, and they added 650 ballots, all for Joe Biden in these like targeted areas, in secret, in secret, with no oversight and none of the safeguards in place to avoid people committing voter fraud. Right? There's a very like specific thing you need to do to make ballots kosher, legal. You have to, when it's a mail-in ballot, they have to open the outer envelope with 2 observers watching you. And then there's an inner envelope, and then they open and they agree it's an official inner envelope. Then they open the inner envelope and they agree it's a ballot, and they put it in the thing to be counted. That didn't happen. That didn't happen between 4 and 5:30 in the morning. Right? There were 650 ballots, which made this very, very bizarre jump in the graph. We had like Trump go woo like this. And then all of a sudden, Biden was underneath him. Then all of a sudden, Biden went boink like that, like it seemed very artificial. Now, again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know what I saw, right? I just know what I saw. I'm like those 70, 80 million Americans that go, well, I don't trust that. That looks fishy to me. You need to explain that. That might be completely normative. It might be completely normal. I don't know. Look, I don't know why they added 650 ballots in secret, while not letting anybody watch. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I suspect they were committing fraud. Okay, my suspicion is they were committing fraud, but we do know they entered those ballots. Okay, so whatever. Now, I want to be clear. Joe Biden's almost certainly going to be inaugurated, because what's the remedy for those ballots not being legal? To me, and not being a lawyer, I go, well, obviously those ballots need to be thrown out, which would give the presidency to the Donald. As far as I understand it, again, just from reading stuff, that's a bridge that's never been crossed in one state before, and Trump needs to do it in 3 states. Now, so we got that going on. So that's one area of voting irregularities. But I want to bring your attention to another area of voting irregularities, because I think many things happen. I think there was. And again, the reason I think it, because I just see the stuff, and I'm really open-minded to being disproved, right? I'm really genuinely open-minded to hearing the evidence to disprove it. But I think there was several forms of voting irregularities. I think fraud going on. I think we got the ballot stuffed by one group, and I think data was gleaned. Using the Dominion voting machines, which seems to be completely doable. All I'm looking for is to get Joe Biden to do the thing he says he wants to do, which is unite the country. And again, if he just turns around and says, "Look, this is evidence. This is real. We need to investigate it, and we need to investigate quickly. We need to do an audit of these votes, quickly." That's the only way he can ever legitimize his presidency, and he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that, because he's like, I won! Don't think about anything! No, I won! Yeah, fine. So this is something else that I'm going to need to be explained to. Have explained to me. This is actual test. This is from the I believe it's from the affidavit recording from one of the witnesses. When you actually hear the testimony, it's like, well, that's strange. That's very strange. So it starts off. This woman, what's the name? Is it Aticia Boma? Genuinely brave, very brave person, because if you stand against the Joe Biden supporting group, they will do anything to destroy you. There was something else called, what was it, Out of Balance, and this was in, where was it, Michigan, this was in a Wayne County, Michigan, I believe. So Out of Balance means, and again, when you see it, it's crazy when the number of people who have come to vote, either register as an independent, a Republican, or a Democrat, right? That's got to be the same number as the people who voted, right? So otherwise, there's like, wait, it's out of balance. So there's I think it's about 70% out of ballot. We have county after county after county after county, which had 100% vote for Biden, which is pretty much statistically impossible. There's something called Benden's law, or Biden, I don't remember, but which basically says, look, this is pretty much impossible the way it happened. The science says it's impossible. Again, I'm willing to be shown like, no, this is all totally normal. Everything's fine. Just everything. But nobody's done that yet. All they've done so far is say, this doesn't exist! There is no... it does. It exists. This is real. So fine. Let's look at this woman's testimony. Her name is, again, Tisha Burma. She tells you exactly where she was and where she was counting. And let's hear what she has to say.
Far left corner, if I'm...
Fine. So she's about to start counting, and the person in charge told them to go over to the far left corner for a meeting, right? I think she was in charge of a table. And let's hear what she got to say, which is really kind of, I just needed explained to me. That's all I'm saying. And I would like Biden to be the legitimate president, because I think that's going to make the world a much better place. I think he'd be a terrible president, but I think he'll be much better placed if he's a terrible president, but at least a legitimate one. But again, that's just my personal bias. I think without him being legitimized, there is no unification going to happen. In fact, there's probably a civil war going to happen.
Facing that way. And they all went piling to the left to this meeting.
And this is the night of election?
This is the night of election,
okay,
between
gotcha.
11 and 11:30 p.m. Well, at my particular table, which was 123, we had a...
By the way, whoever put out this video, that it had a cut in it is not a good thing, right? It had not a good thing. That leaves it open to claims of whatever. But that was not a good thing.
Black man, about maybe 5'8" in height, dark with glasses, a little bald on the top. He said something very disturbing before they started counting.
So that's, as I say, that she's identified him pretty clear. And this is not the only. If this was the only one, that'd be fine. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these testimonies. Again, just they're there for you to look at.
His words were, he was talking to one of the other poll workers at the table. He told the poll worker, "This is our house tonight, right?" And the poll worker said yes. And he said, "So from now on, they're going to do what we tell them to do." So,
again, this isn't smoking gun until you hear what that meant, which is going to tell you in a minute. But again, this is democracy's house tonight. But I believe one of the many areas of actual voter fraud that happened is individuals in positions of authority abuse their authority to do what we're about to hear. And I think it happened really, really a lot. Happened an absolute lot.
I take that as, this is our house, the Democrats, and the Republicans or independents and anybody else outside of that is going to do what we tell them to do tonight. Every time I observed a straight ticket or I saw Donald Trump's name.
So yeah, now we're getting into the actual meat of the matter, right? Like what does it mean? It's our house. You wait here. It's freaking crazy.
Name circled in. They would shove it back in the envelope and they would put it back in the pile.
Every time?
Every time they saw it.
Yes, run that back.
Anybody else outside of that is going to do what we tell them to do tonight. Every time I observed a straight ticket or I saw Donald Trump's name circled in, they would shove it back in the envelope and they would put it back in the pile.
Every time?
Every time they saw it, they would shove. It was so many votes. They even had USPS boxes stacked up by the threes under each person. And
so is this possible? I mean, again, this is a sworn affidavit. This is not somebody talking on Twitter. She's given a name. She's given location. She's given details. This is a sworn statement. I believe I believe there are other witnesses as well that are corroborating it. So what she's saying right now is that whenever they got a vote for Trump, they would put it back and they wouldn't count it. They wouldn't count it. And it seems to be like if there was like boxes and boxes and boxes. This sounds like the thousands, absolute thousands. This on top of the adding the votes in the middle of the night, right? In the middle of the night with nobody watching. Like, I just think, there's just such a tsunami of stuff went down. Because honestly, the thing you're really going to have to work hard to convince me is people wouldn't do absolutely anything, break any law, do anything to stop there being a second Donald presidency, because they've been screaming he's super, he's the super worst guy ever for years and years and years. And I think, I'm saving America by destroying. And I want to be clear, the idiocy of the people behind this, of Joe Biden for not addressing this, because is not only will his presidency never be legitimate, it will probably, almost certainly, lead to a civil war without these things debunked. This is how important it is, right? This is how I see the red states seceding from the union. I do. Why would they stay in a fundamentally corrupt, a corrupt union? Which this seems to be saying that. And if you're on the other side of the aisle, come on, my channel me. Let's have this conversation, because we are living in different universes, and we just need to talk this out. Yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
On the top of those ballots was either red straight ticket, or you can see Donald Trump's name shaded in, and they were all on the floor. The man that was sitting right here, why are these still sitting on the floor?
And I like that she's got she points to whoever, because everything's recorded, right?
He said, they were already counted. But remember, we just started the counting a little bit past 11:30 p.m. on November the 3rd.
So it sounds like he's lying, right? Doesn't it? And again, this is not no evidence. This is real, and this is I'm in it for Joe Biden to unite America. I am. I would like him to do it. I wasn't, and if he does, if he just tries and say we got to address this, right? If he just tries, he will have my support. He will have my support, and I'm like a big Trumpster, right? He will. That's how much I would like him to do it, and how much respect I would have for him for doing it. Is he the leader that you all say he is? Is it? Now's the time we're going to see.
So how could all those be counted that quick? It was impossible with a capital I.
So how many of these straight red ticket or votes for President Trump did you witness approximately go back into the envelope or whatever after they were taken out?
So they came in a pack of 50.
Okay.
Out of the 50, it would be maybe just 2 that they were happy about. So I didn't get in.
And I want to just say that there may be a legitimate reason, right? Again, there may have been a legitimate reason. They added 650,000 ballots in crucial swing states in the middle of the night, in secret, without oversight, breaking all the rules, right? There may be a good reason. There may be a good reason that Biden got that freaky bump in his growth line. It may be. But without addressing it, it's never. We're never ever go to unify. And I want us to unify. I really do want us to unify.
Just 2 ballots that will come out, they will put the rest of them back in the envelope because they count 50 at a time. 2 or 3 will be happy in each pile. Would never be more than 5 ballots that they were happy about, that they actually passed around and rolled out. One girl would roll them up, and then she would roll them out with her hand, and to straighten them to make sure, I guess, they're going to get fed in a tabulator or so.
Okay, so now we have that going on. That's the first thing going on, that they're not counting Donald Trump votes. And it sounds like by the thousands and thousands and thousands. So we got the adding Biden votes and not counting Trump votes. It sounds to me reasonable to think that the president may have won by a breathtaking landslide, an absolute breathtaking landslide, and I think that's the problem they have right now. Because the problem they have right now is not what's true; it's what people believe, right? And I believe this sounds credible to me, right? That's the problem they have there, is what people believe, and they got to prove to me, give me at least some form of reasonable doubt. But there isn't. You just say no. You just give me some form of reasonable doubt.
How many groups of 50 did you witness this happen with?
Oh my God, more than 50, more than 100.
So yeah, that's 5,000 votes. 5,000 votes, and this is just one person. How many? Like how many more? How many more?
Which table was this? Was this both tables?
So there were two tables together, 123 right here and 120 right here. They would override so many ballots.
Oh yeah, this is the next thing. Okay, this is the next thing. They when the ballots for Trump, they then changed using the voting software for Biden. She's saying that. Look, okay, it's not me saying it. It's this, and she may be lying. She may be lying, and if she's lying, she should. I would think, the full force of law should come down on her. This is serious allegations, but we've what's the presumption that she's lying? What? I mean, like maybe she is, but we got to investigate, and I just don't think it's any way reasonable to say that we shouldn't investigate it.
That I saw, they would put in a scanner, and then on there it would say, "Are you sure you want to override to them?" Like something. In other words, it's a Republican ballot, but they went in and overrid the system, and they would take the mouse and click yes, and a green check mark would come in and say.
See, that's I mean, again, this is evidence. This is evidence, right? This is evidence, and it's also you're able to corroborate it, right? I think they're going to have to do a full vote audit, right? So now there's also something else going on with Sidney Powell, who is this apparent. Again, I don't know anything. I'm just the guy who's reading stuff, right? I'm willing to be disproved. So Sidney Powell apparently is very, very highly respected lawyer, and anything she says, people tremble, right? So she says she has evidence of massive voter fraud. That's a high level of using the Dominion software. That's, I believe, separate from the Trump legal thing. Now you go, factor into all of this the general bumbling stupidity of people in general, right? So there is a lot of that going on, like the Giuliani, when he did his press conference, they booked the Four Seasons to do it, thinking they booked the hotel. Turns out they booked a landscaper company to do it. This stuff sounds like just like out of Veep or the thick of it, right? So you got like that bumbling stupidity going on as well. So there's more than one thing happening. But it sounds like that from her testimony, there are many counters that didn't count votes for Trump and converted votes for Trump to votes for Biden. Again, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's real. I do know there's going to be no healing and unification without addressing this.
Processed or some. But this was after they kept overriding each and every last ballot that they put into their scanner that was on their table. They would override them. Not one time did I see one go through and it was just went through. They were overriding ballots.
What do you mean by override?
That's just, I mean, again, a very, very disturbing allegation. And to pretend it's not existing. And I have to tell you, the real losers of this election, I mean, other than us, other than, the plebs like us, the real loser of this election is the media and his social media. What does it mean? What would it mean if what she's saying is true, right? If what she's saying is true, that or even the existence of this testimony, what does that mean? It means they have en masse blatantly lied to all of us, to everyone, to say no, there's no voter fraud. Fine. There's evidence of voter irregularities. What do you call this? This is evidence of voting irregularities. I don't know why they were overriding these ballots. I don't know why they weren't counting Trump's ballots. I don't know why they were doing it. I don't know what their intent was. Again, I don't know why they added 650 ballots for Biden in swing states and key counties in the middle of the night in secret. Right? I don't know why they did that. Sounds to me like they're committing fraud. You give me another answer.
They would click in the system. So if my vote is for a Democrat, you can override it to Republican.
Why would they add that into the software? That seems like a really bad idea.
If it's a Republican, you can override it to Democrat. It specifically says, do you want to override it? And they were overriding them.
See, that I just think, know, that is just crazy. I'm sorry, that's just absolutely crazy. So yeah, again, saying that there is no evidence of voting irregularities, patently not true. Patently not true. These voting irregularities, the only thing I can think of is fraud. But again, show me something else. Like, I'm a reasonable guy, and would like to live in a peaceful world. And a peaceful world would be a Biden presidency, which is legitimized. Now, again, Joe Biden has it in his hands right now. He has it in his hands right now to show himself to be the leader that all his supporters say he is, to be the incredible person all his supporters. And how he can do that is saying we need to audit these votes. We need to audit these votes. We need to have the nation feel secure with their electoral process, because as it stands right now, they're never, ever, ever going to again, and that is the end. That will be the end of America. My name is Sheila Bekin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.